There's
Oh,
yours.
the file popped out.
I want you to have to remind us of that like usual.
Okay,
You
well,
want me
thank
to
you.
scream out, Mike? I can do it.
You know what? I forgot to shave on the last pitch. I just saw that in the mirror in the men's room.
What are you talking about now?
Just crap. Just don't pay any attention to anything I say. And that goes for y'all too.
What'd you say?
David, we can get started.
Yeah,
and
we
get
can
through
start
the
off on the
administrative
top.
items, because y'all have a quorum to hold a meeting.
But
We got a gap. We don't have a gap. We do
you
have a
know,
gap.
this is a dangerous thing.
Move we adjourn.
We're supposed to be serious, y'all.
All right, let's get the show on the road. I call the meeting to the Town of Montreat's Board of Adjustments to order. June 26, 2025. Where's Josh? Can you hear me, buddy? Wherever you're recording this, I hope.
If not, he'll come running back in here.
I know, he'll probably say, okay. First thing we do is start with a moment of silence. Let's be quiet for just a few minutes. Thank you. And the next order of business is to determine whether we have a quorum. So, there are, by the skin of our teeth,
We got a quorum of 4.
we
Got a quorum of 4.
not to vote. Have to have 5.
Hey,
5 to vote?
Five to hold the variance, to hear the variances,
variance.
4 to hold a meeting.
Right, right.
So, but you guys are fine now.
Yeah,
Yes.
you're welcome. Okay. Did you take a bath before you?
I did, and shaved.
Yeah, I didn't. Anyway, okay, we have the correct number of board members here present. We have a quorum, so we can proceed with the meeting. What's a presiding officer? I have no clue.
you are.
Well, it says, next order of business is to appoint a presiding officer.
Thought I deleted that.
That's me, folks, for this meeting. What?
It's not on my agenda.
No, he got a script. You're fine, you skip that.
Yeah, mine's privileged.
I mean, you guys
You
changed.
think you're a lawyer or something, don't you, Bill?
Me.
I know. Okay. So, next thing we have to do is talk about agendas. Let's see, previous agenda that we have to approve, right, Kayla?
Yes.
What date is that? Because I don't have that.
It's today's agenda. You guys are gonna either move to adopt, make a revision. Something
Okay,
of that nature.
sounds good. And it requires a motion, second, and a majority vote. So,
Second.
you have the agenda in front of you, I assume. Well, damn, I threw one away. I didn't have one. I want it back, though.
You got it.
Look at it real quick. Do you see
I've
anything
got
in? Now she found it. She's got it. All right, do I have a motion to adopt the agenda?
So moved.
Okay,
Second.
do we have a second?
Second.
Second here. Am I supposed to write all this down, or Angie, you
You
got it?
have to vote on it too.
No, I understand that. Do I have to write it down too? No. Thank you. That's the only thing I wanted to know. Okay, all in favor of the motion, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? That motion carries. That's a good thing. So we have an agenda that's been adopted and approved. I guess that makes sense. Okay. Motion to approve the minutes for May 22nd. Is that correct? Okay.
I have a correction to the minutes.
All right.
Please, I think, unless I've lost my mind,
Oh, that's possible.
I did not end up presiding at that meeting because he showed up. The chair showed up.
No, not in May. You did preside in May.
I presided in May.
Yes.
You did. You were on drugs that day.
I'm a
Got
sorry.
it at the head of the table right in there.
It was right after your surgery.
It was right after my surgery, of course. And it's thank you, excuse me.
All right. So, are there any other motions about the approving of the minutes? Everybody like them? Let's adopt them and say,
So
have a
moved.
motion to approve them. So moved. And George, you got a second?
Second.
All right. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Thank you, sir. I forgot you. Good. So May 22nd amendment, agenda is approved, and I've gotten to the first page. Hey, we're making progress here, folks, and it's only 5 after. Hey, we're making it. Okay. Now, we're going to move into evidentiary hearings. I'd say that correctly, I hope. Hey, I get the gold star. It's the first one we've got on the agenda tonight, and I'm just going to read from what it says here. This matter is to consider VA 2025-02. This is a variance request submitted by April Carter on behalf of property owners William P. and Gail K. Brown. Relatives, I assume, or just friends? Don't know. Anyway, for the lot addressed as 222 Louisiana Road, Montreat, North Carolina 28711, and described as PIN number 07107-633. It's all on here. That says 28711. That's what I'm reading.
Okay.
You on the right one? Okay. Got it wrong then. 63358000000, located on the east side of the intersection of Oak Lane and Louisiana Road. This variance request is to section 501.5 of the Montreat zoning ordinance to reduce the front setback requirement from 30 feet to 24 feet on the western side of the subject property for the purpose of constructing stairs to the existing dwelling. And our suggested motion that we'll adopt here shortly is to grant that motion or grant it with conditions, or maybe to deny that motion, VA 2025-02. Okay, so all persons who need to speak and testify in this case, please come forward and place your hand on the Bible. You got your Bible, Angie?
Chairman, may I interrupt for a second?
Sir.
I direct this to you. April Carter and
George, we'll get to board disclosures
Oh.
after.
I thought
this.
before.
No, we do
Oh.
the board disclosures after we swear people in. Isn't that right? Or does it matter?
I know where he's going with it.
Yeah, I don't think it matters.
Point of order.
Yeah,
Okay.
and has it been the board's practice to swear everyone in at the beginning of the meeting?
No, we do it case by case.
I would just have witnesses before they give their testimony swear an oath.
Not all of them at the beginning.
Do you have a conflict?
That's what I need
The
in the
question
ruling
is,
on it.
there's a conflict possible.
So my suggestion would be to go ahead and address the conflict now and
That's-
have
that's
witnesses,
what we're asking.
right, and have witnesses be sworn in one at a time before they give sworn
Correct.
testimony.
Okay. That's what I was trying to address. April and I are working on another project. Does this constitute a conflict of interest?
I might need to know a little bit more about the other project you're working on.
It's a project for the city of Montreat. It's a pretty good-sized project. We're working on building a handicap trail system, and she's our primary architect/engineer on the project. I'm a member of the planning committee and putting the whole thing together.
Does the outcome of this case have any bearing on your project?
Absolutely none.
Do you feel like your relationship with this person would impact your neutrality or your ability to make an impartial decision in this case?
No.
Do any members of the board have any questions? Those are the ones that come to my mind.
None.
No.
I too am familiar with April, having been past chair of land care and working on the same project that George has, and I have no reservations at all.
I wouldn't think it's a conflict at all. It's too disparate.
I don't see a conflict here, is so long as you do not believe that it would make you impartial or impact your ability to be impartial. And if the board doesn't have any concerns, I think we can move on.
Thank you.
I would ask one question. There's no monetary support involved between the two of you? Contributions of, because that comes up sometimes. I mean, you.
No, not in
okay.
this
I mean,
context.
okay, good. Okay.
Okay. She found her Bible. Good. I was waiting on that moment to arrive. Thank you. Okay, so all persons who wish to speak and testify in this case, this is being the, I've already lost track of it. Carter, excuse me. I got too many things on my brain. Carter, variance request. Please come forward and place your left hand on the Bible and raise your right hand. And after swearing in, you may return to your seat. Angie?
Do you swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Okay. So, okay, so everyone is,
So,
You swear them in before they testify, so you don't have to do them all at once, just before they testify.
so,
It's like in a court.
wait a minute. Let her,
so we've sworn in who's going to speak. David, before you go and open the evidentiary hearing, I do want you to read in your script the board conflicts / disclosure and the prior exposure to evidence / ex parte communication sections. We kind of
Yeah.
went a little bit out of order. Those are pulled right from the, what?
No, you're right.
Okay. Do you mind just reading those two sections and making sure that we didn't miss any other conflicts or prior exposure to evidence?
yeah. Okay. We already had disclosure, so I need to read that one too, you want?
I mean,
Just to be on the safe side, we can. I'll read it.
Yeah,
I think we've done disclosure already, from the board, but
Well, we've addressed one disclosure that could have been a potential disclosure, but I still think it's a great idea to read the statement.
not a problem. Before opening the hearing, I'd like to cover disclosure. The parties to this case are entitled to an impartial board. That's what we're trying to do. A board member may not participate in this hearing if he or she has a fixed opinion about the matter, a financial interest in the outcome of the matter, or a close relationship with an affected person. And I think we've already determined within the board, does any board member have any partiality to disclose and recusal to offer? So I think we've basically decided and determined that we're all good.
well, with George's, are there any others?
None from me.
And she had, but it's the same thing.
Mr. Chair, I would suggest that the board members who have talked about the previous potential conflict, after hearing that statement, does it change your mind or make you feel differently about your prior decision that there is no need to recuse yourself?
No.
Say no.
Yes.
Thank you. Because nodding your head
No.
doesn't go across. Okay, thank you. So no one's going to be excused from voting in this response. Now, the parties to this case have rights for any ex parte communication to be disclosed. Ex parte communication is any communication about the case outside of the hearing. That may include site visits as well as conversations with parties, staff, or the general public. Does any board member here have any site visits, conversations, or other communications to disclose that would be impartial? In other words,
I would have looked at the site and had a conversation with anybody about it.
I think that's approved, correct? To visit the site, but not talk to anyone there, just to see for yourself, correct?
Yep.
Yeah, that's correct. If anyone has visited the site specific to this, it's appropriate to tell the other board members, but outside of that, it's not a matter of recusal.
Yeah, that's what I thought. Okay.
Did
So-
anybody else visit the site?
No.
No.
I did, oh, not that site, excuse me. I have not seen this site.
Okay.
Wrong. Okay. So, no one's excused from voting. All right. Moving forward here. Now, can I open the evidentiary hearing? That's good. On this matter, and ask for testimony from the zoning administrator. Madam?
Josh, can you please pull up thank you. Okay, I guess Josh has the clicker. Okay, for the record, my name is Kayla DiChristina, and I am the zoning administrator for the town of Montreat. I ask that the PowerPoint staff report be entered into the record. Is that acceptable to the board?
Yes.
Thank
So
you.
moved.
Second?
Second.
Good. All in
Aye.
favor?
Aye.
Aye. No discussion. Thank you.
Okay. All right, so before you tonight is a variance request, VA 2025-02, PIN number 071076335800000. Next slide, please. This is an overview of the subject property for this request. It's addressed as 222 Louisiana Road. It's owned by the Browns. It's a little bit under 1/4 of an acre, and it's currently zoned R1, and it contains an existing dwelling. So it's right across the street of, from the intersection of Oak Lane and Louisiana Road. Next slide, please. The applicant is April Carter on behalf of the property owners. I do just want to note that April's last name is spelled with a D, not a T, Carder, so my apologies on that. The application, quick summary, this is a variance request to section 501.5 of the Montreat zoning ordinance to reduce the front setback required on the western side of the subject property from 30 feet to 24 feet. That chart on the slide before you shows what the required setbacks are on all 4 sides of the property. The only variance that the applicant is requesting is to the front side on the west. I do want to note that section 501 in the zoning ordinance actually includes 2 sections, 501.5, which I think is just a misnumbering. The first is minimum lot width and the second is minimum front yard. For purposes of this presentation, references to section 501.5 will mean the second section 501.5 referring to minimum front yard. Next slide, please. All right, so this is a copy of the site plan that was submitted by the applicant. You can see Louisiana Road to the west. You can see the existing dwelling and where the variance is requested. I do want to note that per the definition of a setback line, the outermost 4 feet of any attached steps may encroach into a required setback up to 4 feet. So the applicant is asking for a variance of 6 feet to not include that 4 feet. Does that make sense to the board?
It does. Any questions?
Okay. All right, next slide, please. This is an overview of the current land use zoning and I guess the general lots around it. To the north is dedicated right-of-way with property zoned R1 containing single-family dwellings beyond. To the west is Louisiana Road with properties zoned R1 and R2 containing single-family dwellings. To the south is also dedicated right-of-way, and then to the east is property zoned R1 containing single-family dwellings. Next slide, please. This is a map showing the topography on the subject property and surrounding. Just a reminder that with the topo lines, when they're closer together, that indicates steeper slopes. Farther apart indicates that it's shallower. Next slide, please. I want to talk really quickly about the rights-of-way that are surrounding the subject property. The subject property is bound on 3 sides by dedicated rights-of-way. To the west is Louisiana Road. This is a public road. And then there's also a section of North Carolina Terrace, which is to the north of the subject property. And then there is right-of-way identified as solid green in the green space agreement to the south. So it is bound on 3 sides by rights-of-way. Next slide, please. As far as water features go, there's a little bit of special flood hazard area on the northwest corner of the subject property, but that's not within the area that these stairs are proposed. And it is near Little Piney Branch, which is one of the streams within town. Next slide, please. So these are the 6 findings of fact, 6 findings of fact, that the board shall grant a variance upon showing, demonstrating that all of these findings of fact have been met. They're available on the board before you as well as in your packets. Do you guys have any questions?
Any questions for Kayla?
The new steps will lead to what?
The steps lead to the existing dwelling. And I know that the applicant is here and can speak more on that if you have additional questions.
Any other questions? Okay. You want to provide testimony? Come up, please. And if you would, please give your name, address, and relationship to the applicant for the record.
April Carter,
Is her mic on?
I think so.
Is it on?
Okay, thank you, Josh.
109 Taylor Street, Black Mountain, and I am the landscape designer for the site.
Okay. Okay. Do you want to say anything about the proposal?
At this time, I believe Kayla's rendition was accurate. We're requesting an additional 6 feet so that we can create an easier egress to the primary entrance of the dwelling.
Okay. Board members, you have any questions for her?
So this will be the new main entrance?
It is currently the main entrance.
Oh,
It's just
okay.
that the main entrance has a series of 17 steps without landings or anything
Right.
to get to it. And we're proposing a revision to that system so that there are 2 landings to break up the
17 steps.
straight run, yeah.
Okay.
And to do that effectively, it was necessary to cross over the setback.
So it's 17 steps like straight up right now?
Yes.
And what you want to do is break up the 17 steps to make it easier?
And to do that,
Okay.
to make it
Okay,
appropriate, we would need to
Gotcha.
make a corner,
gotcha.
which would send us in across the setback.
Okay. Got it.
April, my arm span is 6 feet.
Yes, that's true.
Any other questions?
April, I would just ask that the board to submit your materials into evidence.
Would you please submit my materials into evidence?
Where are they?
They were included in your
In
packet.
the packet, so
Okay.
that's what I thought. I mean, there's not one packet that's getting submitted.
So is that a motion or not?
I can't hear anybody.
If the board's routine is for the chair to accept things into evidence, so long as there is not an objection from another board member, I think that's appropriate.
Okay.
If any board members object to something being admitted into evidence, I
Speak.
believe that they should let the chair know, and the matter should be discussed, and then there should be a motion and vote if there's disagreement. But if there's no disagreement, I think that a chair can just move, can accept something in evidence.
Okay. No disagreements? Thank you, ma'am.
You have to accept it in the evidence.
Well, let's see. We will accept your evidence.
Thank
Thank
you.
you for coming.
Okay.
We appreciate it.
Any more questions?
No, and just as a matter of housekeeping, Mr. Chair, I would I would advise admitting the entire staff report, including the materials submitted by the applicant, into evidence. And if you agree with that and the board does not object, you can do that by saying so admitted.
So admitted?
So admitted.
Yes.
We're there. Thank you, sir.
So do we need to move to approve the application?
I think it's appropriate to have a discussion if one needs to be had. If there, I'm sorry, let me back up. If someone has a motion, they can make it, and that motion can be discussed. If there is no one who is yet ready to make a motion, the board can talk about the matter amongst themselves. I think it is also appropriate, I know that this is the only witness that was sworn in beside Kayla. Is there anyone else here to speak for or against the project? Or does anyone have questions for any of the witnesses who have given testimony here today? For the record, I saw no hands or anyone who wished to do that. So I think that the board can discuss the matter, or if someone has a motion to make, they can make that motion.
I move that we approve the application.
Second.
Okay. Any discussion of the motion? You ready to vote then, I would
And
assume?
Kayla, do we have a sample motion that breaks out findings of fact on this?
We have it in their packet, and we also have the findings of fact listed on the last slide in the PowerPoint. But I don't have the motion with the findings of fact on the agenda.
Hang on a second here.
So if everybody goes to their packets,
Or if Josh can move us to the last page on the,
yeah, Josh,
Packet.
can you pull up the staff PowerPoint for this variance and go to the second to last slide, please?
Do you want those read?
So page 10 of the staff report does have the template variance decision language.
No.
If
How
you
about
guys
page-
want to use that, you're welcome to.
is that on the PowerPoint?
No, it's in the packet,
I understand.
but I can show you guys what it is.
It seems to me, Mr. Chairman, that if there's no objection, we could move to approve it and be done with it. Which I believe there's a motion on the floor to do that.
This is what
So into discussion.
it's not in the packet.
It's
I've got that.
It's in the staff report.
Yeah, it's in there, it's in a different version of that. I'm looking to see if they had already written a response to the questions, like I've seen in others.
That would be included probably in their application, which is also included in your packets.
I
And-
don't
and
see
Mr.
that in
Chair?
their application.
I believe that Mr. Shai is correct. So I believe Mr. Shai is correct. I think that the board needs to understand that if you if you vote to approve this project,
Right.
you are finding that they have met all of the standards that are
Correct.
outlined on the screen in front of you. That'd be page 9 of the
So
staff
we don't have
report.
to go through all 6. Basically, by acclamation, we're saying we agree that they've met those standards.
I just, if you move to approve the project, it is because it meets all of these standards. So that's,
All right, do we have a second to your motion? George? Okay. Any discussion? Can we move forward then to a vote? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Thank you, ma'am. We have approved that motion. Angie, did you get all that?
Congratulations.
Thank you. We gave you your extra 2 feet.
6 feet, you're 2 feet, 2 feet.
This can't be that hard. All right. Now, let's move on to, did you write me another one for this one too, or do I have to? Oh, my Lord, aren't you efficient? That's funny. All right. Let's take that a little bit.
This is on page, the new page number. I think it's page 6.
All right, here we go. Are we ready to go with the next variance? Ed, do you have copies of all this where we're going?
No, but I'm good. If I need it, I'll ask. Thanks. I'm familiar with it.
All right. We'll move into the evidentiary hearing now. The second one, this is for VA 2025-03. This is a variance requested by and submitted by Martin, is it Kerr or Carr? Carr. I thought it was. Well, carport, I know a lot of Kerrs and they're all cars, and that's why I wondered if this wasn't Carr as well. Thank you. Very good. And this is on behalf of the property owner, Carr Revocable Trust, for a lot addressed as 364 Oklahoma Road, Montreat, North Carolina, 28711. Is that what it says on the?
That's what it says here. But
All right, we're good.
but that's not the right thing.
That's right. Don't worry about that. 28711. I've lost my place here. There it is. And described as PIN number 0201-586-960000, located 1,000 feet south of the intersection of Appalachian Way and Oklahoma Road. And this variance request is to Section 501.5 of the Montreat zoning ordinance to reduce the front setback requirement from 30 feet to 13 feet on the southern side of the subject property for the purpose of constructing a screen porch. Now, the suggested motion will be to grant or not grant, or some with conditions possibly, or maybe deny, VA 2025-03. Okay? All right, now, let's say, again, all persons who wish to speak and testify in this case, the Carr case, please come forward, place your left hand on the Bible, and raise your right hand. After the swearing in with Angie, you may return to your seat. Is there another one?
This is a possibility, so we'll do this together. Okay? Yes. All right.
Do you swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
I do.
Okay.
All right. Now, let me go ahead and do the disclosure and ex parte now, or do you want to read your report first? No?
No, you guys need to do that now.
Okay. Before opening the hearing, I'd like to cover disclosure. I'm reading it straight from the script here. The parties to this case are entitled to an impartial board. A board member may not participate in this hearing if he or she has a fixed opinion, about the matter, a financial interest in the outcome of the matter, or a close relationship with an affected person. Does any board member have any partiality to disclose or recusal to offer?
No.
No?
Nope.
Okay, thank you. All are able to vote for this measure, and we'll go ahead and do the ex parte again. The parties to this case also have a right for any ex parte communication to be disclosed. Ex parte communication is any communication about the case outside of the hearing. That may include site visits as well as conversations with parties, staff, or the general public. Does any board member have any site visits, conversations, or other communications to disclose?
No.
No, except I did look at the site, but
I had a site visit today, but did not get out of my car.
Right.
I had a site visit.
Site visit, yes.
Okay.
So just to confirm, Bill, Arrington, Ed, David, not George. Site visits, Bill,
David.
Ed, Arrington, David?
Yeah, George, you go?
No, George.
Okay.
Okay, thank you.
Okay. Does anybody feel like they need to be excused from voting
No.
based on what they've made their site visit?
No.
Okay. All determinations have been made and everyone's ready to vote then. Now, let's move to evidentiary hearing on the matter. Mrs. Zoning Administrator, one last time, can you tell us about 2025-03? Thank you. Turn it on.
So sorry, Josh. For the record, my name is Kayla D. Christina. I'm the zoning administrator for the town of Montreat. The application before you tonight is a variance request, VA 2025-03, PIN number 072015869000000. Next slide, please. This is an overview of the subject property of the application. It's addressed as 364 Oklahoma Road. It's owned by the Kerr Revocable Trust. It's about 3.37 acres. It's currently zoned R1 and contains an existing dwelling. Next slide, please. This is an overview of the application. The applicant is Martin Kerr on behalf of the property owner. A quick summary of the application. This is a variance request to section 501.5 of the Montreat zoning ordinance to reduce the front setback required on the southern side of the subject property from 30 feet to 13 feet. This table on the slide before you shows the required setbacks on this lot in this zoning district. The only requested variance is to the front setback on the south side of the subject property. As a note, Section 501 includes two sections, 501.5. The first is minimum lot width, and the second is minimum front yard. For purposes of this presentation, references to Section 501.5 will mean the second Section 501.5, referring to the minimum front yard. Next slide, please. This is the site plan that was submitted by the applicant. You can see the proposed the proposed addition in the little inset and the setback variance that they are requesting. Next slide, please. This is the land use zoning and the overall lots that are around the subject property. So to the north, there are properties zoned R1 containing single-family dwellings. To the west is Oklahoma Road with properties zoned R1 beyond. To the south is Oklahoma Road and properties zoned institutional and R1. And then to the west is just the Woodland zoning district. Next slide, please. This is a map of the topography of the subject property and the surrounding area. Just a reminder with these topography maps, when the lines are closer together, that indicates steeper areas, and when they're farther apart, it indicates flatter land. Next slide, please. I want to discuss the rights-of-way very quickly. The subject property is bound on two sides by the right-of-way of Oklahoma Road. This is a public road that's owned and maintained by the town of Montreat, so it's bound both on the west and the south. Next slide, please. These are water features in the surrounding area. You can see there's really nothing around the subject property. Next slide, please. These are your findings of fact that your decision must be based on. The board will grant a variance upon demonstrating all 6 findings of fact. Does the board have any questions for me?
I'm fine.
Okay, Ed?
No.
None? Okay.
And just really quickly, I ask that the board submit into evidence the staff report,
I just wrote that down.
presentation, and that would include the applicant's materials that have been submitted to you all thus far.
We missing anything, Brandon?
Just to accept it into evidence formally, and you can say that by, it is so admitted.
So admitted.
Thank
Thank you,
you.
ma'am. We do appreciate it. And thank you, sir.
My pleasure.
I do have a question.
Oh, now.
Just clarification. Why? I know, but this. is,
I'll just come up here.
Thank you.
Oh, you can quiz.
I just for clarification, you all have a deck there. You go take the deck down and build this porch where the deck was?
That's correct, and we are pulling the deck, where it's currently 8 feet
Uh-huh.
the setback, and we're pulling it back to 13. So while the technical language says we're asking for more, we're really asking for less of a variance from what we have existing.
Martin, would you like the PowerPoint that y'all prepared pulled up?
We might as well run through it. I'm not going to waste your time because there's a lot of duplication, but there's some context, and that is actually that's one of the early slides that we'll talk.
Josh, will you pull up the applicant's presentation for VA 2025-03? And Martin, you can just tell him next slide when you're ready for the next slide. He did not give me the clicker today.
Okay. And I will, okay, so, or I don't have to say next yet, right?
Josh is working on it.
What's he saying?
Here we go. And so we'll, I'm Martin Carr, as announced. I live in Cornelius, North Carolina. My driver's license says Cornelius, North Carolina is my residence. My heart is on Oklahoma Road. So, next slide, which gets right to the point, the last sentence. We are asking to move the back from where our deck is now. Next slide. My parents built this house in 1957. It was a small, less than 1,000 square foot home or cottage. Next slide. The shaded area there was the original house. And then next slide. Next slide. Next slide. In 1984, as that family grew, we added space in the back. And the next slide and the next slide show where, and when my father retired here in 1991, the garage on the north side of the plan and the deck shown in green were added in 91. The next slide. And 10 years later, the garage, about 10 years ago, the garage was converted into a larger living space. So that is the house as it exists today. And the deck on the left is the deck that we hope to replace with a screen porch. Next slide. The house was originally sited just per that topographic map that was shown, and how it's very clear that it was put in parallel with the contours, and it made all good interest for everything. And of course, in 1957, there was no town, there was not much of anything, but I believe it was Greer Davis who just told my dad what to do. So, next slide. This slide you've seen is the site plan. Oklahoma Road was a dead end when the house was built. There are examples all over Montreat, many to this day, where that was basically our driveway, and then the road was extended when Camp Montreat built their stable up the road, and suddenly we were on the path of having a setback problem. Next slide. I think it's notable that the context of the time when the house was built, the context of the way the town operated, is that a significant portion of the corner of our lot, next slide, is that cone is the corner of our lot in Oklahoma Road. So, and I actually anybody who was up there today, I actually respray painted it yesterday, just in case.
It's gone. I can tell you, it's
I
gone.
think it started raining right after I
Yeah.
did that yesterday. So, so just a different time, different context, different acting in common sense, and that's what we would ask for with the facts that we've demonstrated tonight. And I'm happy to answer any other questions. And thank you for your time.
Yeah. Any questions for
is
Mr.
this-
Carr? Ed, go
Yeah, I
ahead.
have just a few basic questions. Is it a one-season room, two-season room? It says screen porch,
It will
literally,
be a
figuratively.
screen porch. There is-
So it's strictly warm weather type of?
Strict,
It's
yes.
connected to the house?
Yes. in
You'll be
fact,
able to access
That was
the-
actually a point I read, that's actually in our facts, is that if we were to push it back 30 feet for the setback, we would have to go through a bedroom to get to it. I actually skipped some slides. I will show you a couple of other slides. I'm sorry.
That's
Do
all
you
right.
see
No,
the
no.
next slide? Next slide. There, you can just see the floor plan there where the porch would be off of the
Living room.
the living room as opposed to having to be pushed back to being adjacent to his bedrooms. Next slide.
You're not changing the height of the porch?
Not the,
No.
not the floor, not the floor
That's what I mean, the
elevation.
floor, it's the same
And
height.
there's a
Okay, I see.
plan of the
Okay.
porch of where the deck is now. And next slide. There's also a HVAC or air conditioning unit that would have to be moved. Next slide. There's also an oil tank that would have to be moved. Next slide. And there's a tree we're able to save by not pulling
Thank you for that.
the deck, the porch back. Next slide. We have, I've covered all this. We've talked to all of our neighbors who have any sight of the house. There are no objections amongst them. And we have, as one of the requirements that you will vote on, we feel like we have done a very minimum as far as reduction.
What's the square footage of the porch? About?
What was it, 13 by 12?
Yeah.
It's 156 square feet.
Yeah, I was going to say, yeah, it's
Yeah,
less than 200.
I think I remember that from
Yeah.
seeing the plans.
Yeah.
Any other questions for Mr. Carr? Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Appreciate it.
Thank you.
Is there anybody from the public that would like to speak to this thing? Go ahead. Come on,
This is 3 generations of our family.
back to the mic. Oh, okay. Shall we call them beneficiaries? All right.
Go enjoy that screen porch.
Yeah, they'll need it. All right. Time to do your magic again, Bill.
I'll second.
Any discussion? Yeah. We've got the motion on the floor. Any discussion of the motion? You
I'll
ready?
chime in just to remind the board that the same standards that I pointed out in the last case, by approving this project, you were saying that it meets all of those standards. And so just keep that in mind when you cast your vote. And if you have any reservations about that, make them known.
Good idea. Any questions or anything? Ready to vote?
Yes.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? You have a porch.
Go build your porch. What time? It's only.
What time? What time?
10
Note that
minutes of 6.
After the vote, not before the vote.
As Uncle Jimmy likes to say, it's 5 o'clock somewhere. All right. Is there any other new business that we need to attend to? Any request or anything?
Yeah, I just want to, Martin, Can you guys just wait like 1 second, just so I can wrap this up, and then I just want to let you guys know next steps. I just want to let the board know that this is my last meeting. That it's been really a good time working with all of you guys, and I'm going to miss all of you. So just keep trying hard, doing your best, and learning. And, you know, we expect you guys to just try hard, and you definitely do that. So
Well, we won't
thank
be
you
able to
guys.
afford you as a consultant. Sir,
I move that the board commend Kayla for her diligent and beautiful and excellent work to the board.
Second.
So
second to that. Did you get all that, Angie? Close enough, anyway?
And
All-
when will my statue be prepared?
Oh,
when it
Lord.
comes before the before the board, we'll give it
require a
consideration.
deposit.
All right.
Yes.
Do I have a motion to adjourn? Second? We already did. Yeah, we did. That's- All right, we are adjourned
Thank
then.
you.
Thank you.
All righty. Thank you.
Thank you, Brandon.
My pleasure. Yeah, my pleasure. Thank you. You guys did great.